We all know what it feels like to try and fit in, to adjust, to blend, to shape ourselves, to meet the expectations of others. But here's the cold, hard truth. If you're always trying to fit in, you'll never truly grow. Why? Because the real you will always be buried under the weight of others' opinions. And growth, true growth, can only happen when you reconnect with your authentic self. In a world where everyone is telling you who to be, how to act, and what to think, the most radical thing you can do is to just be yourself. But here's the problem. So many of us don't even know who we really are anymore. We've been molded by the people around us, by the expectations of society, and by the constant bombardment of opinions we see online. And somewhere along the way, we lost touch with the person we were always meant to be. Authenticity has become a buzzword, but it's more than just something we say. It's something we need to actively cultivate if we want to grow as individuals. Without authenticity, we're stuck in a cycle of pretending, of performing, rather than living fully and genuinely. In this video, we'll explore why authenticity is so important, what happens when we lose it, and most importantly, how you can start reconnecting with your true self. From the moment we're born, we're influenced by the world around us. Our parents, teachers, peers, and media all contribute to a set of rules and expectations we're supposed to follow. They teach us how to behave, what's acceptable, what's cool, what's not. And over time, we start to shape our identities around these external influences. When you're young, you might not even notice it. You learn how to fit in with your friends, your family, your school. But what starts as harmless adaptation eventually turns into a pattern that shapes the rest of your life. You start to make decisions based on what will please others, what will get you approval, or what will make you feel like you belong. But the more you try to fit in, the more you lose yourself. Think about it. How many times have you made a choice in your life based on what others thought? Whether it was choosing a career path, dressing a certain way, or even choosing your friends. Was it really you making those decisions? Or was it the pressure of society's standards? How many of your choices were made to avoid standing out or being judged? When you lose touch with your authenticity, there's a cost. And that cost is more than just the loss of your true self. It's the emotional toll of constantly trying to meet external expectations. The pressure to keep up with the latest trends, to be someone you're not, to live up to a false image, can drain you. And here's the thing, that emptiness you feel when you're constantly trying to be something you're not, it's not a coincidence. It's the result of living inauthentically. When you lose touch with your real self, everything feels shallow. No matter how much success or admiration you get, it feels like something's missing. The disconnect becomes more and more noticeable, and sooner or later, you begin to feel trapped in a life that isn't truly yours. But the damage doesn't stop there. When you live for others, you'll never truly grow. Growth requires challenge, struggle, and self-exploration. It requires facing discomfort and uncertainty and pushing through it to emerge stronger. But when you're too busy trying to be what others expect, you miss the opportunity to challenge yourself and step into new, unknown territory. You're not evolving, you're stagnating. The real cost of losing your authenticity is the silence that follows. When you stop being true to yourself, you stop listening to your inner voice. You start ignoring your instincts, your passions, your desires. Everything becomes filtered through the lens of what others think. The more you do this, the quieter your authentic self becomes, until one day you wake up and realize you've forgotten what it even feels like to be yourself. The pain of this loss is real. Many people live their entire lives disconnected from who they truly are. They go through the motions, checking off boxes in a life that was never fully their own. They get stuck in a cycle of trying to please others and feel empty inside. And the worst part is, they don't even know how to get back to the person they were meant to be. Let me tell you about someone who faced this struggle firsthand. Someone I know well. Let's call him Alex. Alex was a high-achieving guy, a successful career, a beautiful home, a picture-perfect family. From the outside, everything looked great, but Alex wasn't happy. He realized one day that he had been living a life that wasn't truly his. The career he had was chosen based on what his parents expected of him. The house, the car, even the friends he spent time with, all were things he thought he needed to have in order to be accepted and respected. But deep down, Alex wasn't fulfilled. He was chasing a version of success that wasn't aligned with his true values. It wasn't until Alex took a step back and reflected on his life that he realized the source of his dissatisfaction. He had been living according to other people's rules. He had never really stopped to ask himself what he wanted. It wasn't until he started living authentically, embracing what truly mattered to him, that he began to feel alive again. Alex quit his corporate job, redefined his relationships, and started pursuing work and passions that aligned with his core values. And although it wasn't easy, it was the most freeing decision he ever made. The key takeaway here is simple. You can't grow without authenticity. True personal growth only happens when you begin to live in alignment with who you really are. Authenticity is not about following the crowd or meeting someone else's expectations. It's about listening to your inner voice, trusting yourself, and acting in a way that is true to your values, your beliefs, and your passions. Authenticity is the foundation for everything else: self-confidence, success, happiness, fulfillment. So, if you're ready to start the journey of reconnecting with your authentic self, what's the next step? How do you begin living a life that's truly your own? Let's break it down. The first step to reclaiming your authenticity is self-reflection. You can't change what you don't understand. So, take the time to sit with yourself and really ask, what do I want? What do I believe? What do I value? This isn't about figuring out what other people want for you or what society says you should want. This is about getting in touch with your true desires, your core beliefs, and your deepest values. It's time to stop living for others and start living for yourself. Write it down. Journal. Think about the things that light you up, the things that make you feel alive. What kind of life do you really want to create for yourself? This step will be uncomfortable at first, especially if you've been living according to other people's expectations for a long time. But it's essential for your growth. Next, set boundaries. Living authentically requires saying no to things that don't serve you. It requires protecting your time, energy, and resources. You can't continue to live for others and expect to grow. You have to start prioritizing yourself. Boundaries can be challenging, especially if you're someone who has been a people pleaser in the past. But you can't please everyone, and trying to do so will only cause burnout and resentment. Learn to say no without guilt. Respect your own needs. When you start setting boundaries, you'll begin to create space for your true self to flourish. The final step is to embrace vulnerability. Authenticity isn't about being perfect. It's about being real. It's about showing up as you are, flaws, mistakes, and all. The world doesn't need a perfect version of you. It needs the real version. This step involves taking risks. Speak your truth, even when it's uncomfortable. Let yourself be seen, even if it means exposing parts of yourself that you've been hiding. Authenticity requires courage. It requires stepping outside of your comfort zone and owning who you are, imperfections and all. Remember, you can't grow without authenticity. The journey to self-discovery and personal growth starts with reconnecting with who you truly are. Stop living for others and start living for yourself. The world doesn't need another version of someone else. It needs you, the real, unfiltered, unapologetic you. As you begin to reclaim your authenticity, remember that growth isn't always linear. It's not a straight path. You'll face challenges, doubts, and setbacks along the way. But that's okay. Growth is messy, and it takes time. What matters is that you're moving in the right direction. You're moving toward the person you were always meant to be. If you want to grow, you need to be true to yourself. Stop trying to please everyone. Stop pretending to be something you're not. Step into your authenticity and watch your life transform. The first step is hard, but it's worth it. So go ahead, take off the mask, live unapologetically, and watch how your life unfolds in ways you never thought possible.